This is Afternoon Sky. I'm your host, Sky. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas morning or Christmas evening or afternoon, or it's already almost uh, the day after Christmas in whatever territory you are in right now and around the globe. I welcome you to the show. Thank you very much for stopping by. Um, let's just get right into it. The Guardian. This is a British, if I'm not mistaken, this is a English or UK publication. It could be called Al Jazeera for some reasons. It's saying there's a headline that reads Israeli police arrest Palestinian man dressed as Santa Claus at Christmas party. Now that is loaded. That has so many things going against it. It's not saying what he was doing, why he was wearing it, what was the situation. It's just saying that he was just wearing a Santa Claus suit. Well, and the cops got him. Those evil Israeli cops. Oh my God. Oh, terrible. But it doesn't give that much context to that. But one thing that should be outlined is the fact that Israel has absorbed over 2 million Arabs of its 8 million or $10 million 10 million population, and they are very focused on getting together and trying to keep the ceasefire. I don't think there should be a ceasefire. I think that Gaza should be flattened until they cease fire. I think that Israeli guns should be hot and bombs should be dropped. But that's just me. Um, they're talking about Israeli attacks continued despite the holiday. Israeli settlers uprooted olive groves in the town of Tumas Aya outside of Ramallah, while Israeli soldiers stormed homes and confiscated vehicles near Hebron, according to WAFA, the Palestinian news agency. So this is all biased. Everything that you just heard on this Christmas day is biased, complete and utter, non-objective, subjective news reporting. Completely. There's no reason for it. It's completely disgusting. It's completely disgusting. So I think that it says in his Pope Leo. This is Pope Leo. This is the chief executive officer of the witch doctors. In his first Christmas address as pontiff, Pope Leo condemned the abysmal humanitarian situation in Gaza, where hundreds of thousands live in tents and substandard dwellings in the biting cold and rain. He referenced the story of Jesus being born in a stable and said that it showed that God had pitched his fragile tent among the people of the world. How then can we not think of the tents in Gaza, exposed for weeks to rain, wind, and cold? He said, lamenting the defenseless populations tried by so many wars. Well, that's the fault of the people that instigated force against Israel. That's their fault. That's the fault of the people that want to go against them. Muhammad clause, yeah, exactly. There's Christian Palestinians. That's what's so weird about Palestinians, because what are Palestinians? There's Jews, there's Christians, there's Jews, Christians, and Muslims, all in Palestine. So it's weird when you call somebody a Palestinian. It's kind of strange. Merry Christmas to you, by the way. To Bumba, Merry Christmas. What is this? Stranger Things SU7Ms. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Salute. Hi. Do you like Stranger Things? You get a free bingo space. I might even give out a few more today. It's Christmas. I'm feeling charitable. Do you like Stranger Things? I never watched more than 2 episodes, I think. I don't get the whole idea. Salute, Brooklyn Marine. Merry Christmas. I don't know what I was about to say. I don't have any gifts. Okay. I don't have any gifts either, but I'm feeling good. I'm 37 years old. If this was 30 years ago, I'd be pretty sad. Oh, okay, thanks. Yeah. It's all right for telling me. Yeah, yeah, it's okay. You're all good, stranger. It's all good. Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad. But I just thought this was very, very biased, very non-objective, very ugly. Let me see, The Guardian. Okay. Yeah, it's a British daily newspaper. Okay, so they're definitely leaning towards the far left. They're leaning towards going against Israel and things of that nature. You don't celebrate Christmas. I know you don't celebrate Christmas, Brooklyn, but I'm just saying, Merry Christmas. As a general rule, everybody doesn't have to just celebrate Jesus' birth or anything like that. It's about commercialization. It's about buying things. It's about giving things. About receiving things. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. I want to see your gifts you got. Yeah, I received 0 gifts. I have a card, and that's it. What does Mary mean? I would say, Brooklyn, you don't have a wrench, but this is your free bingo space. I might give you another bingo space. Um, I would say Mary means jolly, happy. It's a different. It's those are the synonyms. But I think it has its own meaning. It has a separate meaning that is attached, and it has that connotation. When you say he was merry, and he's like, really, like Merry Christmas, like it has that connotation to it. It has a connotation towards Merry Christmas rather than just holly jolly or happy or feeling good or something like that. So that's how I see it anyway. But yeah, so this story is disturbing. It's disgusting. I don't like it. It's very vile how a British in the West, a Western paper, a Western rag can be so unbiased. I mean, they're all unbiased. They're all unbiased mostly. From the New York Times on, in America, to the LA Times, to the Chicago Tribune, to the Philadelphia Inquirer, all these different zines and newspapers and stuff like that. They're all biased. They're all in their special way biased. Stranger says the most important thing about your life is love. I mean, your life is so much money. If you sell your soul, you won't be here. Well, that sounds cute, but it's all about the money. You don't get anything until you have money. And money is just a representation of the mind. It's a representation of thought. It's a representation of action. That's all money is. You shouldn't necessarily worship the money. You should worship the root to all money, which is production, which is thinking, which is creation. Brooklyn says money is BS. Oh my God. A Jew saying money is BS? I'm kidding. I'm not. But no, money is not BS. Money is an example. Money is the reward, is the key. It is what unlocks. It is the frozen form of movement and thought and thinking and planning and doing things and how it flows, and it can be unfrozen and used in different capacities. So money is not BS. I disagree with you, sir. Bud, what's it? Blood Dud, Blood Dud. Hi, Blood Dud. I swear your names be crazy. But I mean, I might just do a marathon, at least until my niece and nephew get here, or I go to see them or something. I don't know how. Well, I've got gifts for them. That's the best part. That's where it is when you're a grown up. I know I'm a grown up now. I've been an adult for 18 years or so. It's 19 years. But now I'm an adult. I've been an adult for a few years. I've been a grown up. Excuse me. I've been an adult for 18 years, 19 years, but a grown up just a few years, and it feels good. It's like I understand what they mean by it's better to give than receive. I kind of get what they're trying to get at, but they aren't saying the right thing in the right way. It's okay when it's a kid, like a child, like that doesn't have a bank account, that doesn't know what the difference between a $10 bill and a $100 bill is. When you give them a gift, it's a special thing because they don't have a concept of money yet. They don't know what it means to actually go out and you have to work for your money. You have to do something. Something special has to happen. There has to be a specific exchange of labor, or an exchange of ideals, and you reap those benefits, and then you spend it on whatever gifts you wish to give them, and then poof. They love it. They're happy. They unwrap the gift and they found a toy and it's great. That's the feeling. That's a trade. People don't realize the receiving is that feeling. It's the trade. It's that warm and fuzzy feeling you get when you see their eyes widen and that smile, that smirk on their face, and they're like, "Oh my God, thank you, Uncle." Thanks, Uncle Skylar. And like I didn't get anything material. I didn't get anything back from a 3 or 4-year-old. They're not giving me a gift, but I'm receiving something. I'm receiving something spiritual, something that is not tangible, but is very real. It's I might just answer. Do you have kids? I have no kids. I have no kids, Brooklyn. No. I have no kids. How much money does a person need? That's not the question. That question needs to be reworded. It's not how much you need. It's how much can a person earn? How much can a person create? How much can a person make? If it's $10, they made $10. If it's $10 trillion, they made $10 trillion. And it depends on whatever scale of ability and exchange that is available to them. That's the difference. So that question needs to be reworded. It's how much can a person earn? What is in their capacity to earn? But I'm feeling good. I had some fruitcake. Okay. Had some fruitcake. Nobody likes fruitcake. Nobody enjoys fruitcake. I love fruitcake if it's made well. Sometimes it's too cakey. It's a lot on the cake and not so much on the fruit. But this one I get from the bakery. I talked about this before, but the Bing's Bakery in Newark, Delaware, chef's kiss. It's just so great. It's wonderful. I love it, and my dad loves it. We eat it up. I don't know. And nobody else in our family uses it. And a lot of people make jokes. Oh, a paperweight. Oh, a doorstop. Or no, eat it. What are you talking about? Enjoy it. It's really good. And I had some Southern Comfort, eggnog, vanilla spice. It's decent. It reminds me of like a kind of like a melted milkshake. That's what and I didn't get the spice, but the original Southern Comfort, it's the truth. I like the original Southern Comfort. It's really good. Brooklyn's asking more questions. I'm gonna still answer them. What do you eat traditionally for Christmas? The souls of communists and socialists and fascists. I eat their souls. No, seriously. I usually have it depends. I like to have pasta on Christmas, like ziti, baked ziti. That's kind of my favorite thing to have, pasta on Christmas. But if I have to have a specific meat, it's going to be honey cured ham, with all the trimmings. Who's this? Mr. Tinball? Funny. Mr. Tinball, salute to you. Thank you for coming in. Merry Christmas. I say Merry Christmas to everybody. I don't care. Oh, I'm a Jew. Oh, I'm a Muslim. Oh, I don't care. It's Merry Christmas. Not repent and weep, as Ayn Rand once said. You don't say, oh, repent and weep. You say Merry Christmas. It's happy. It's good. It's uplifting. You only get a few days to say it, and it makes sense. Unless you're in July, and then Christmas in July. Like, whoever thought of that? Who was the person behind that? That's a marketer right there. That's commercialism. There's probably families that exchange gifts, put up trees, all that, hang stockings, do all the traditions. I wonder people at weddings. Oh my God. Could you imagine somebody getting married on Christmas? The traditions. You have to have Christmas traditions and wedding traditions all at the same time. You can't. You gotta have something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. You gotta have the milk and cookies on for Santa. You gotta have the tree. You gotta have throw the garter belt. You gotta throw the bouquet. I mean, there's so many different traditions and stuff like that. I mean, that must be insane. And it's probably at certain places like destination weddings, like they go to Disney World or something like that. I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Timbo. Okay, hair Rama, etc. Christmas wedding. Yeah. I'm sure there have been. I'm sure there's probably millions of people that have gotten married on Christmas. Probably. And they had to recognize all the traditions and different things like that at the same time. That must be insane. I would never want to touch that. I don't. If I do find a female, worthy of me, it's gonna be in the summer. It's probably gonna be around my birthday or something like that. Then that would have even more meaning. Here we go. I hear Nick Reiner's on the naughty list. Come on, Bumble. Let's have a little bit more clarity and more seriousness on that. That's a gross understatement, sir. Joke man, Krishna rant. Okay, still don't understand what the hell you're talking about, Mr. Tinball. Salute to you, but I don't know what you're talking about. You seem like you're just having a word salad over here. But yeah. So I just I love the movies. The movies are probably the best part of Christmas. I'm watching It's a Wonderful Life. It's an evil movie. It's backwards. It's disgusting. But it's one of the best made films of all time. It came out, to mixed reviews. It was a box office flop. Now it's in the eternal atmosphere of Christmas movies. So it's a religion, man. Damn. Like, oh, Hari Krishna? I didn't know. Oh, I'm like Hari Rama. I'm like, I heard of Hari Krishna, but not Hari Rama. It's a religion, man. Damn. I'm stupid. I don't know. Have you watched Avatar? Which one? The first one? Just one, and that's all I'm gonna watch. I can't support that. It's ugly and disgusting. Die Hard, best Christmas movie. I know, but yeah, like Wizard of Oz, the best movie about Twister, about tornadoes. Like, you wouldn't say that, but that's as close as you get to it. Are you a comedian? No, I'm not a comedian. New one. New one. What is the new one? No, I have not seen the new one. The Navi and all that. No, I haven't seen it. The unobtainium and all that. No thanks. I have to pass. That's for a different show. But I will say this very quickly. The Avatar movies are evil. They're saying how man is evil, man is bad, should be condemned. The native populations, they should preserve their earth, not their earth, their environment. Man is just greedy and wants to obtain everything. That's why it's called unobtainium. He wants to get his fingers on everything he can possibly reach. So, yeah, I heard it sucks. Well, I mean, I'm just talking thematically. I mean, as a spectacle, it's great. It's like amazing. All these, CGI, everything. I'm probably sure it's AI by now, but everything is CGI. It looks wonderful. It looks the blues look like really blue, and the greens and all that. Everything is looking really wonderful. And but the dialogue is not so great, and the like I said, the themes are horrible. It's over 3 hours long. How's Hamnet? I haven't seen Hamnet either. I've not seen Hamnet, but that's Jessie Buckley. She got like a crooked smile. Salute to her. She's married, so I'm not gonna push up on her. I like a good monster flick. King Kong against Godzilla. See, I can't get into the King Kongs and the Godzillas, especially with uh Mystery Science Theater 3000. I can't stand their they do good commentary. I'm not saying that. They do great commentary. But the ones about the monsters, I can't get with. Who's this? Abysmal Absalon. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Abysmal Absalon. Salute. Make sure you tell 6,000 people about me. You tell 12,000 people about me. I appreciate it. No, no, I'm just here for me. I'm not gonna tell nobody. I'm not gonna say nothing. I know y'all. I know y'all's roles. I know what y'all are feeling. Yeah, but hey, Sky's cool, but I'm not gonna tell anybody about him. I got 1,200,000 followers. 1,200,000. Is that really a? I think I meant 1,200 or 12,000. Is it 1,200,000? I think it's 120,000. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to Sir Rick James. He says, Merry Christmas to you, sir. I with the grandchildren today watching your show. They dig it so far. They say hello. Fact. Salute to them. Salute to them. Merry Christmas. I hope you were good. Even if you got a lump of coal, remember it's a coal. It's a carbon dense entity. It can be taught. You can be taught about the benefits of burning fossil fuels. So just in case you get a lump of coal, don't feel bad. It could be used one day, to power your house or power some kind of small device. I don't know, but just keep that in mind. I gave them gift cards to Denny's. Yum. Are they Negroes? Are they coloreds? Are they light skinned? What are they? Denny's and Negroes have a past. It's not too shiny. Back in the 90s anyway, 30 years ago. It could be different. They probably had a huge overhaul. Probably catered to Negroes by now. But we all colored here. No race blending in my family. Okay. Salute. Are you fair skinned? Are you dark skinned? FBA, Foundational Black American. Rick James. You saw the story on Will Smith? Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. I'm just saying the San Jose Sharks. There's a Will Smith on. I think there's two Will Smiths. In hockey at least. But I'm not seeing any story on Will Smith. No, I did not see a story on Will Smith. You care to tell, Brooklyn? Could you let us know? You're just like waving in the wind right now, sir. What happened? What happened with Will Smith? And what Will Smith are you talking about? So, TMP Jada Pinkett Smith. TMZ. Okay, TMZ. Jada Pinkett Smith. She allegedly threatened one-time friend. Is that allegedly threatened to disappear Will Smith. Jada Pinkett Smith, you're gonna catch a bullet. Will's buddy alleges threatened lawsuit. That's from December 2nd. Where are you going? Where are you going here, man? We talking about Brooklyn? This is like 23 days ago. What are you talking about? It's weird when y'all say stuff like just says, what the story on Will Smith? No. And then he says TMZ, Jada Pinkett Smith. I'm like, okay, and I look it up and it says from December 2nd. Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going, Brooklyn? What are we doing? Are you on that jolly stuff? Are you on some Christmas green? What's going on? What's happening in your life? What's going on? An hour ago. Okay. Wow. Okay. An hour ago. 3 weeks ago. I'm not seeing it. Just say what it is, please. Just say what it is, Brooklyn, because it's taking up time. Come on. It's taking up time. Just say what it is. What happened? He's like, an hour ago. I'm like, okay, an hour ago. I'm seeing 3 years ago, 3 months ago. What are you talking about? Come on. Anyway, I gotta keep it moving. It's a Merry Christmas, Brooklyn. If you don't like it, get out. Talk about Jesus. Yeah, exactly. I can talk about Jesus. I can talk about how it's ironic that, people say things like, oh, how did Santa Claus get into, houses without, chimneys? How come how did he go around the whole world and go to different places around? It's like, it's very ironic because he's a figment of imagination. He's a complete creature of thought. He sprung out of the mind of who there's a few people that like created Santa Claus. He's a legendary figure originating in Western Christian culture. Christian culture, who is said to bring gifts during the late evening and overnight hours on Christmas Eve. Christmas elves are said to make the gifts in Santa's workshop while flying reindeer pull a sleigh through the air. There was a Saint Nicholas. There actually was a Saint Nick. That's where a lot of things come from. A lot of people don't say, "Oh, there's no real Saint Patrick. There's no real Saint Valentine." They were real people, but they got commercialized. That's the best part. So, Jesus, is against commercialization. Jesus is against giving and receiving. Jesus is against having an idea of goodwill towards men and happiness and joy. He's more about sacrificing and suffering and dying. That's his whole role. That's everything he represents. Who's this? Jaime, or is that James? I can't tell. Wait a minute. Jamie Smallbone 490. Okay. Salute with all those emoji. I have no idea what that means, but thanks for the emoji. Appreciate it. So that is the truth. I mean, nobody ever asks, oh, how did the angels appear in the manger? How did, there was an immaculate birth? How? Really? Is that, you sure? It's a Christmas miracle. She didn't have sex. So, it's immaculate. Everybody else is dirty though. The billions of people that came through the old fashioned way, you're dirty. You're filthy. You're a wretch. You're low, and you have to be saved by grace under God. But you're nothing. You're a low point. You're nothing in reality. You're not important. Brooklyn says, right, sure. You don't think so? You don't think so? That's exactly what it is, though. That's a fact. That's a fact. Christians really believe that. Christians believe that they put it in the songs. To save a wretch like you and me. Like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Speak for yourself now. I'm not a wretch. Who said I was a wretch? Why do I have to be a wretch? That's like degrading. That's dehumanizing. That's defaming. That shouldn't be, the idea. So I say Christmas is all about Christmas is all about Santa Claus. It's all about the idea of Santa Claus. Even L. Frank Baum of Oz fame had the work called "The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus," published in 1902. Okay, poor Indians. Okay, so I want to see Coca-Cola because Coca-Cola had. Here it is. Images of Santa Claus were conveyed through Haddon Sundblom's. That seems very Jewish-like. Let me see if he's a Jew. Is he Jewish? He's of Swedish and Finnish descent. Doesn't seem like he was at all Jewish. 1899 when he was born. But anyway, it says Christmas advertising in the 1930s. The image spawned urban legends that Santa Claus was invented by the Coca-Cola company, or that Santa wears red and white because they are the colors used to promote the Coca-Cola brand. Coca-Cola's competitor Pepsi-Cola used similar Santa Claus paintings in its advertisements in the 1940s and 50s. Historically, Coca-Cola was not the first soft drink company to utilize the modern image of Santa Claus in its advertising. White Rock Beverages had used the Santa figure in monochrome advertisements for mineral water in 1915 and 1923 to 25. The same company used color images of Santa Claus in adverts for drink mixers. Earlier, Santa Claus had appeared dressed in red and white and essentially in its current form on several covers of Puck magazine in the first few years of the 20th century. So that's just, gives you context, gives you something to think about where the origins of Santa Claus came from, why he is so important, why he's such a great figure, why is he such a wonderful, he's a good thing that, and I say this in respect and admiration. He's a one-sided, single figure, single dimension figure. He's completely one-dimensional. He doesn't have any other sides. He's just a good, fat, happy guy. I mean, he tells what kids are naughty, what kids are nice, what kids can go and play, and what kids can stay inside. And that's another lesson too. You stay inside, you're probably gonna read a book or something like that. And that's usually punishment to some kids. But other kids escape into a world or a universe that they can understand on their own. That's beautiful. Bumbleclaw says Christ is king of the Jews. No, but I gotta get back to this story. This story is ridiculous. It's so biased. Doesn't say how many Palestinians, quote unquote. I don't even know what that means. I still don't know what Palestinian means. Or Gazans are absorbed in Israel, and how the surrounding areas of Jordan, Oman, Qatar, and other locations in the Middle East completely backwards, completely, even if they're rich, they have got skyscrapers, they got, their streets are clean. Yeah, try spitting gum in the street. See what happens to you. See how long you get. See how long you can last being an atheist in Jordan or Qatar. See how long you can be an Israeli in Qatar or Oman. Israel is the shining beacon of hope, a light that bears down on the surrounding areas of brutes and savages that never really got out of the primordial areas of this world. We're at 0 people right now, but that's okay. I'm gonna go on for I don't know how long. It could be like 2-3 hours. I'm going in. I'm just going to go in. I'm gonna see how many people I can get in that frame of time. It's gonna go up to 1. It's gonna go up to 4. Then it's going back down to 2. And I really don't. I never understood how this thing works. But see, like I said, it's going up to 1. It's gonna go back down to 0. And it's going up to 3 or something like that. But why is it at 30,000? That's what I want to know. Why don't I have 30,000 people watching me? Why aren't y'all sharing this show? Like, what is? It's an inferiority complex I have. It's pretty serious. Maybe I should ask Santa for that for next year. But yeah, so Santa wins against Jesus every time. I don't care what the case may be. He wins. He really wins. He has the jovial spirit. He's not everything like. I mean, did Jesus ever smile? Did he ever have like a grin on his face? Did he ever laugh? They depict him in some movies as such. They depict him in like Passion of the Christ and stuff like that in his earlier years. But there's I'm trying to remember what it's called. The Infancy Gospel of Thomas is a non-canonical 2nd century apocryphal text describing miraculous and often violent childhood exploits of Jesus from ages 5 to 12, filling the gap between his birth and the temple visit in Luke. It's alleged that he portrays a precocious, sometimes harsh superboy who brings clay birds to life, curses playmates to death, and later revives them, and outwits teachers, revealing early Christian imagination about Jesus' divine nature, but it's considered unhistorical and heretical by mainstream Christendom or Christianity. I mean, just imagine that little baby in the manger, and he just walls out when he's like 5 to 12 years old. He starts putting people to death and then bringing them back to life. he breathes life into clay pigeons. Like, this little nigga was going crazy. But yeah, Santa Claus is so much. I mean, it's sad because we say, "Oh, I wish I hadn't told my kids about Santa Claus. If only I didn't have to let them know that lie. If I didn't have to tell." No, tell kids about Santa Claus and tell them about when they get old enough. When they're little kids, you can get Santa Claus in. Jesus is a little bit more nuanced because he has so much baggage and luggage, attached to his name. So it's like, you don't really want to talk too much Jesus. Not, until they're like 7 or 8, maybe 12, somewhere around that age. You can start talking about Jesus. But Santa Claus is when they're 0 years old. You want to have pictures of Santa Claus around. You want to have movies of Santa Claus. One of my favorite Santa Claus movies, if not one of my favorite Christmas movies, is of course the Santa Claus. with Tim Allen. That man, he's got good money. He's got long money. He's got Toy Story, the original, all the way up to the fourth money. That man's got cake. He's got Home Improvement, Last Man Standing, and was it Switching Gears? That's the kind of money this nigga got. That nigga got lots of money. Okay, don't get fooled. He's got good cake. Santa's blessed him very well. So that's the truth about that. That is the reality. That Santa Claus, he's a winner. Jesus literally is a loser. He loses his life. His life is extinguished from him. And again, nobody says, few people say, few people don't say. Why don't they say, so he got off the cross, right? And we all witnessed his death before his birth. So that was like, what's that, 8 months ago? Something like that. And we're just like, okay, so how did he ascend to heaven? Was it like hydrogen, or was it nitrogen, or what were the circumstances? What were the scientific issues? And some people say, it wasn't science. Well, if it wasn't science, it didn't happen. That's a fact. If it wasn't science, it didn't happen. It didn't occur. So I just have to, expound upon that. It's very difficult to discuss something like that, because people get in their feelings, people get so worked up and everything, like, that's my God, that's Jesus, because that's the weird, sick, crazy part. They're like self-interested for something that's about the reverse of self-interest. We are in such a precarious, just disgusting time that needs to be cleaned up, because it's just really sad. It's really sad how people don't take into account the reality of what it means to be a someone who is of Christ, who is in Christ. Which like I said, I don't knock anybody for their choice of faith. That's on them. It's like if you knocked on me for being an atheist, it's like you just can't do it. That's the whole point. Respect. You have to have respect for whatever people that faith they have or faith they don't have. You gotta respect it, no matter what. You have to really explain it to your own psyche. You have to have a conversation with yourself. Talk out loud if you must. I do all the time. Oh, he's crazy. Well, I am crazy, but people that technically aren't diagnosed with a mental condition, something like that. They try to do that, and I'm looking at the counter, and I'm probably not going to do a whole marathon. I might do that the 30th, maybe right before I go out to eat. I might just turn on the camera and roll. But that's because of y'all. That's on y'all. Y'all gotta if y'all come in here, make sure you share. Just share. Just say, hey, there's this crazy nigga named Sky. He's got some ideas. Make sure you check him out. Because it's been on zero for the past, 2 or 3 minutes. But I have to finish it. I have to finish this broadcast. An hour. But yeah, Santa saves Christmas from the Grinch and Krampus and all that. Krampus is you can understand it kind of. He's has a bit of justice to him. He's punishing the bad kids. But why are I think he's like eating them, or like he's like terrorizing them or something like that. It's like very dark and it's very dour or door. How do you pronounce that? Um it's it's not nice. To put it, very lightly. It's not very nice. But Santa just says, look, you were good this year. Look, you weren't good this year. You were bad. So only the good kids get the good stuff. You get bad stuff or stuff that needs to be worked on. Like you get a book. You get a different book. You get a lump of coal. And that's the thing that kids don't want. They want candy and prizes and stuff like that and surprises and all that stuff. They don't want a lump of coal. They don't want a book. But like I said, they can learn about fossil fuels or something like that through a lump of coal. That's the beauty of it. So, just thinking on that level is very special. I like the fact that you can stand up and say how confident you are in the fact that Santa Claus is the reason for the season. Santa Claus is the truth, the way, and the life of Christmas spirit. He is absolutely the embodiment of what it means for Christians, for Christmas. And this story about Israeli police. Oh, they want to knock somebody with a Santa Claus suit? Oh my gosh, it's so terrible. Oh, it's so terrible. Well, could you imagine how many Israelis were knocked because they're wearing a different a different clothing because it related to their faith, or unfaithful or atheist Jews, and they came up and said that they're not participating in any of the festivities for Christmas or anything like that. How they're harangued and how and yelled at and screamed on and punished and arrested and things of that nature. I mean, this is just a really biased story. It's super biased, super subjective, not thought out, not well played. It's completely disgusting. It's ugly. So, that's the that's the straight dope. That is the straight dope because Saint Nick has don't be fooled. Don't let it come in. Don't let anything arise out of this. This is a time of the year, which is great because it's climactic. It's like right at the end of the year, and then this is like I don't want to get too crazy, but this is like the preheating. Christmas is like preheating, and New Year's Day and New Year's Eve is like the cooking, and then you finally eat on New Year's Day. You have something that was already and that's weird too. Rock and power to George Carlin, who said that preheating. What do you mean preheating? It's just heating, and it's like you got a hot water cooler. What you need is a cold water cooler. If you got a hot water cooler, that means you already got hot water. What do you need a hot water cooler for? he just had like great the way that language is. He just really honed in on it and was very precise about how loose and sloppy we are with our language. But but anyway, but Christmas is such a wonderful time of year. Christmas is such a not a mystical blessing, but a human blessing, a worldly blessing, because you get to see people in the street and say, "Happy, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas." It's the only one we say Merry to. That's why it's so special. We don't say Merry Valentine's Day. We don't say St. Patrick's Day. We don't say Merry Birthday when people, for their birthday. We say Merry Christmas though. Who was that? Who was the person behind that? Whose thought was that? Oh yeah, it's gotta be Merry. Yeah, you can't. No, I mean, so they do say Happy Christmas. Like the British actually, I think sometimes say Happy Christmas, but and then there's a famous song called Happy Christmas. Who was that? Was that John Lennon? Didn't he have Happy Christmas? War's over. I'm looking for it right now. There's a movie from 2014 with Anna Kendrick and Melanie Linsky. Yeah, there was. Yep. Yeah, John Lennon, Happy Christmas. War is over. Well, those are the best thing about these songs. That's the best thing about the songs that arise. They come into our lives, and we are able to officially like take them in, because it's like war is over. Well, war's not really over. War will never be over for a long time until we really think about reason, individualism, and capitalism. That's the only way that war can be over. If you institute reason, individualism, and capitalism. So, I wish I could play it, but I'm not going to play it. Shaved Fish, man. The Harlem Community Choir. Wow, I didn't even realize that. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. So, Happy Christmas. It doesn't even sound right, really. Happy Christmas. Like, Merry Christmas. Oh, yeah. Merry. Oh. Hit you. Hit you. Hit you here. Hit you here. Merry Christmas. Oh, okay. Got you. It's a Merry Christmas. So, that is so powerful to me. I think that is just one of the best examples of what it means to be an atheist around this time period. Because I go to church. I go to church regularly. And I went to a church service, one of the concerts. I'm just looking at these people. I'm like, that could have been me. Like, it's a song by Kirk Franklin, I think, but it's a different connotation. Like, I'm like, damn, that could have been me. I could have been up there. But it's so ironic, the irony that people put their entire lives, they stake their entire existence on something that doesn't make sense and is not real. Okay, their entire lives, their entire being, their entire reason for existence, they tie it to Jesus. That's scary to me. That's frightening. Because I could have been there. I was 3 years old when I first really understood what Jesus was. I didn't have the thorough understanding, of course, at that time period. But, throughout the years until I was 19 years old, 16 years later, I was the president of the youth choir. And that's the thing that people don't understand, or people that oh, well, you're a Christian. No. Youth choir means you got to be saved. First of all, you got to be saved. Then you got to be baptized. Then you got to go to new members classes. Then you got to be voted into the choir. Then you got to be voted as president of the choir. So it's a very meticulous and counted process of taking it from one thing to the next. So people don't really recognize that, but that's facts. That's true. Um, People don't really acknowledge it either. They don't see it as a true statement. They don't see it as facts. And you're gonna have people, millions in the sermons, millions of pastors and reverends and apostles and all the people that are in the pulpit or at the front of the stage in my church. They make a pulpit, but or the church I go to. I shouldn't say my church. I say the church I attend. They make it real. They make it like interesting because I have to give respect because first time I thought about Jesus, I'm like second. There's jokes, like Lewis Black. He said the first, the first Testament, the Old Testament is with the Jews. It's all about the Jewish people, and the Second Testament is all about Christianity. But this church in particular said that Jesus was at the beginning of the beginning of the beginning. Like John 1:1, in the beginning was the Word. John first Baptist first verse. And the Word was with God, and the Word was God, So that has to be explained. That has to be noted. That has to be, taken into account, for a long time, for all of this. It has to be, completely, salvaged. It has to be saved. From the wreckage of people who have no clue or want to have no clue. It's like there's the people that are like, I respect the hardcore Christian, super, die hard, I'm all for Jesus folks, rather than the people that are flimsy, like, yeah, well, I guess I kind of believe in Jesus. I want to be saved. I want to go to heaven. I like that idea. It's cool. Yeah, I don't really read the Bible. I don't really study. And if I do read the Bible, it's only because out of, duty or whatever. I'm supposed to read the Bible. I don't really reap any, ideas from it or anything like that. Like, I don't like that person. I despise that kind of person. I have respect because I am diehard strong for the idea of a benevolent universe, which is not a guarantee that you're going to have greatness in life or you're going to be everything's going to be all good every time, but it's the possibility to have that. And I believe in, like, there's in a negative, atheism is a negative, and atheism isn't really an ism. It's just a state of being, really. Is ism, not like, objectivism, the philosophy of Ayn Rand. It's not like a philosophy. It's just a state of existence, a state of a being. But that is the cut and dry version of what it means to be an atheist, especially around the time of Christmas. We're like, oh, but you're an atheist. How come you believe in Christmas? Because, like I said, Santa Claus, great example of what it means to be an atheist at this time period. He says nothing. I mean, they have it originated from Saint Nicholas, but he said Santa Claus and all the fair and all the different incarnations. He doesn't mention Jesus. He doesn't say, oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, but you got to remember that Jesus is the reason for the season. I'm just here to give you gifts. Like, he doesn't say that. He just says, look, I'm going to give out all the gifts to all the kids who deserve it. That's all I'm here for. That's my soul role. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm glad to do. So it's no problem for me. If you have an issue, that's on you. That's your fault. I don't have to deal with it at all. I'm focused on getting these presents out to the deserving children. That's my statement, and that's what I'm sticking to. Hey, I'd like to thank everybody who came in. I don't know a lot of you. I know Brooklyn. I know Bumba. I appreciate everybody that came through, though. It's Christmas time. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good life. So get a life and love it. Thank you very much. Take care.